a team of 2 people. And the people that are with me, their function is to tell me what they hear and what they see, because I don't hear and I don't see. So I'm Canadian version of a Helen Keller, if you like. I'm an Ottawa citizen, and I've lived here for 12 years. What inspired me to become a leader? Well, I basically saw a city, and some of the things I saw there, I knew that we could have a better community because of some of the things that we were doing. And some of the things gave me hope in terms of if we could achieve some things, we could do more. So I had faith in myself, and I had hope, but I also had faith and hope in the community itself. So when you take those 2 things together, that indicates to me that Ottawa could be the best place, the city in Canada for all people to live. And it is becoming that way. I don't think most people realize that when a city moves beyond the average, it took dreams from a variety of people. And people like myself and other people have those dreams, and we work together. We can create a new reality. I think 6 years is a short period of time, but I want to show you what we did in 6 years, just to show you how much you can accomplish in a short period of time. And if we planned it, just think what we could do in 20. But let's not think 20. Let's just go back 6 years. So come with me, because I'm taking you back 6 years. And the first thing I noticed about what I told you that I saw something in the city, well, the first thing that I learned about when I came here is that we had one of the best paratranspo type services per capita of any Canadian city, right here, 6 years ago. And 6 years ago, we had a 24-hour service that was an employment opportunities and job opportunities, and it had an accessible website, WC3, which means it was accessible. It was right here. It was one of the first, but people don't know that. We had an employment hotline, and that hotline was also running 24 hours. So if we could do that, could we do more? And my answer was absolutely. So I got involved. I started to dream. I started to talk to people. What did I want? Well, first thing I wanted was just for things to be more accessible. Not just for myself, but for all people. I wanted City Hall to be accessible. I wanted things to be in alternative formats. I wanted audio signals so that people who couldn't see or had difficulty seeing or went to the eye doctor and got some of those drops in and couldn't see could cross the street with an audible signal. I wanted the websites to be more accessible. And I wanted audits in buildings so that people could know what wasn't accessible by looking at it and have a plan to make things more accessible. So I dreamed. And I worked with other people. I wanted accessible taxis. I wanted them for our community, but more important, I wanted them for the tourists that came here that needed an accessible taxi service. For guide dogs, for people in wheelchairs, for people who had just difficulty. So I kept dreaming, and I worked with other people. And as I worked, I started pushing and asking, bothering people. I didn't quite scream and yell, and I wasn't always too professional, but I remained considerably professional in that I was frustrated. And I pushed. And I pushed with other people, not by myself. So what I say to you isn't just what I did, it's just what I led people to do. And we, in Ottawa here, we had the first accessible advisory committee, accessibility advisory committee. We had that before the Ontarios with Disabilities Act. We had that 9 months before that act came into effect. That act, yes. Do you realize how significant that is? We foresaw something, and we did it before we were required to. You know, that just tells you something about the characteristics in this city, and it happened before it had to. Usually things happen when you're told. That's what leadership does, though. That is why we are the best city. I'm telling you, please believe me, we are. I would like to ask you to do some things, not for me, but for our city. I'd like you to ask for a Braille menu. You don't need to be able to read it. Just ask people if they have it. Do it for someone. Do it for someone. Do it for yourself in the future, for someone in the future. Who cares who it's for? Do you need to know? No. Ask for automatic door openers. Ask for any kind of thing that would put material into Braille or into a website that's accessible, and that kind of thing. Just be observant when you walk around. What if there's a high counter? Ask that it be lower for people in wheelchairs. You know, it's not going to matter to you, but it might matter to someone else. But if everyone were to ask, we would be working more together, because alone we do little, but together we can move mountains. We really can. So now I've talked to you about some of my thoughts, but I'm going to leave you with something Helen Keller said. What Helen Keller said was, hope sees. Hope sees the invisible, feels the intangible, and achieves the impossible. Thank you.